Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of the VBL-S. I am playing against an absolutely terrifying match against the champion of the previous season, not just the division champion, but also the grand champion, having defeated the other division champion in finals, Raymond themselves, the 935ist themselves, who is also, as we may remember from the content week, the foremost expert on the use of Ruins Pokemon. And would you look at that? They have a Ruins Pokemon. This is unfair. I don't like it. It's not okay. As you will see, I named the team versus Raymond in brackets scary because it's really scary. I really want to bring Noivern, but then I keep running into Pokemon like a Chien-Pao and stuff, where Noivern is like the third fastest mon in the match, you know. And then Doug is in a similar situation where Doug is speed tank with the Wug. I'm gonna get Wugginated. I'm gonna get totally wugged. I was really concerned about this match, so I did wind up doing mocks with the game plan I went for. It seems like it is feasible. It's not guaranteed by any means, but it seems like it is possible for me to get through this series. So yeah, Chien-Pao in combination with Dragonite and Ceruledge, and to some extent Iron Treads and Persimmon, is very intimidating. Sword of Ruin obviously reduces the defense of all of my Pokemon, and that is an aura ability, so anytime it's on the field, that is affecting both of my Pokemon as well as their partner Pokemon, unless I do something to suppress it, which sadly I do not have planned. And then Dragonite wise, incredibly strong Pokemon in terms of its setup sets, or its just going immediate damage with that extreme speed, taking advantage of the lower defenses as a result of this, and that can also out-priority my Grimmsnarl's Prankster, so it mitigates the ability for me to use Reflect effectively. And then after that, Iron Treads, it's got good spread moves, which it's not amazing next to Chien-Pao because it's not immune to ground, but it is theoretically an option. But then beyond that, like Iron Head is still strong. Like, it's quite fast and it's not got great attack, but you can make up for it not having great attack by reducing the opponent's defense, which is a pretty good balancing factor. I'm not super respecting Wigglytuff. Knackstack is a pain to get through. Also, having two ghosts, like these two Pokemon really mess. Sorry, not these two Pokemon, sorry. Iron Treads and Palisand really mess with Toxtricity's functional 3 stabs of Ghost. Not Ghost, of Poison, Electric, and Normal, because they are immune to 2 of them and resist the other one for both of them. So that's quite bad for Tox, who has otherwise been a pretty good mon in both of my games so far. So instead I don't get to bring Tox. This is what the team is looking like. The idea is that I can out-offense them. So I've got an option of Hoppip with Tailwind, and then an option of Zangoose with Quick Guard. The other 4 Pokemon are really the main thing. I've got Intimidate, Mystic Water, Tauros with Wave Crash, it does a lot of damage. I've got Gholdengo with Scarf Make It Rain, it does a lot of damage. And then I've got Focus Sash, Grimmsnarl, which has Fake Out for utility, and Spirit Break and Sucker Punch for damage. And then I've got a physically defensive Rotom-Heat to hopefully clean up a game. And the idea is that these Pokemon are difficult to click consistent moves into if they want to, crunch into Gholdengo. I've got 2 other Pokemon that then resist that crunch, that can pivot in pretty reliably, obviously unless Grimmsnarl's been come down to Sash. And then it's that whole sort of thing. If I want to have good resists to the moves that my opponent wants to click, and then I want to be taking KOs. So they brought Wigglytuff. Okay, they brought Slowbro. I did play against 2 mock teams, one which was like a mostly offense, and then another one which involved Slowbro, though with Palisand. Okay, we do see Ceruledge, we do see I don't think I count against Wigglytuff. Let's see what Tauros does to Wigglytuff. Okay, with Water Terror I get through it, so I'm not that worried about it then, in that case. You too, friend? I did type game 3, yeah, okay. My thoughts were always, I get the most information by leading Tauros and Grimmsnarl. Because it lets me intimidate, lets me know if Dragonite is multi-scale, and if Dragonite is not multi-scale, then Terra Steel Make It Rain and Wave Crash should KO it unless it's bulky. And then I've also got Frisk to figure out what their items are. And I think it's Rotom and Gholdengo in the back, at least for game 1, until I get like a better idea. I do have the option of Sleep Powder Hoppip for counter to Trick Room, if that becomes an issue. But I think the Slowbro might just be more offensive. The Terra Water, I often will click against it just to remove my Psychic weakness on Tauros. At least that's what I found in mocks. Yeah. It doesn't hit Tauros very well, so they can definitely pivot around. And I need to keep that in mind as well, that while both of us will be trying to pivot around one with the other. The good thing is that they can't Terra into a type that takes both water and fighting, so only Dragonite and Slowbro. Pre-Mega can take the stabs, pre-Terra can take the stabs from Tauros. Seems like they brought a really solid team though. So yeah, I would say that this matchup definitely favors them. But if I can figure out what like their stuff is and then play around it sufficiently competently, then I'm in a good position. Do we see a Covert Cloak? Clear Amulet on that one. Booster Energy, okay. So I have a strong inclination to just go for a Fake Out and a Wave Crash here. Because I know it's Clear Amulet, so it's not Sash. It could be Terra Grass, but I think that's fine. I don't really care if it's Terra Grass. Obviously, you know, theoretically it could trade for me there, which, no, it's not great, right? But I'm not gonna close combat it. And I don't get as much utility out of my Fake Out if I don't go for that attack now. They could Wisp me. This could go very wrong, but I get information, right? That's the main value, is getting information. If they do Terra Grass, they lose their Steel Resist. Yeah, so they could Terra Blast me, or they could Wisp me. Wisp is probably scarier. It is Quark Drive speed, which is scary. In the mock, I think they ran Clear Amulet on the Iron Treads. Quark Drive speed is bad for Gholdengo, for sure, because Garth Gholdengo is slower than +1 Iron Treads, I think. Do I die to Stomping Tantrum? I think I do with Swords of Ruin. Yeah, doubles. So I die to Earthquake, and I think also to Stomping Tantrum with Swords of Ruin. Yeah. So, that's bad. But obviously if I have Intimidate, I don't die, because they're -1. Okay, so they're not multi-scale. It's good to know. I kind of want to Wave Crash the Iron Treads and Spirit Break the Dragonite. Though I'm not sure if that makes sense. But that suggests to me they're not Terra Grass, or they just don't want to spend that Terra Grass. I also kind of want to switch Tauros out into Gholdengo. But I think they might take out Grimmsnarl instead. I feel like if I do this, they shouldn't be able to KO either of my Pokemon without a double up. So I feel like I force... I theoretically can die to Wave Crash Recall though. I feel like I force a KO here, subject to them doing some Terror that I'm not anticipating. I should count that as well, that Wave Crash damage. Dragonite to level 50. Yeah, so it's not multi-scale. And the fact that it took 32 means it doesn't have a crazy amount of bulk. Like max HP? Okay, it could be close to max HP, but I don't think it is. Just die Spirit Break then? Yeah, it should do. I think even if they are max HP, it should do. Yeah. Okay, so I think I get information here guaranteed. Okay. Does that E-Speed KO? They went for Terra Fairy. Interesting. They're very slow. They're very slow on Dragonite. Does Aqua Jet pick up? Because I want to protect an Aqua Jet Chien-Pao. But I might be better off Aqua Jetting Dragonite. I think I'm better off Aqua Jetting Dragonite, yeah. Tauros. They're definitely not max HP. They're at 14? Yeah, okay. Aqua Jet should pick up Dragonite. So I think I want to protect an Aqua Jet. What about Chien-Pao? Okay, Aqua Jet likely picks up Chien-Pao as well. Alright, let's see what the Chien-Pao goes for. A Psychic Fangs. Okay, I didn't even know it got that. We don't know what item it is. Iron Shreds no longer has its booster energy boost. I can't sucker it. I wish I Terra Ghosted. Maybe. Yeah, I think they're in a very strong position. I don't know if I have good outs here. Didn't reveal an item. I honestly had forgotten it got Psychic Fangs. They didn't bring it in the mock, which is insane now they think about it. 67 to 80? It did 64, okay. Yeah, it doesn't tell me anything. I should have Aqua Jetted Chien-Pao probably. It hasn't revealed Ice Shard. Or Sucker. I could Sucker the Chien-Pao. I don't think that KOs. Not reliably. Definitely not reliably. Oh yeah, I also wanted to check whether Chien-Pao Sucker is KOing me. That's not Gholdengo. Yeah, it is. I think I have to just learn. My opponent has not clicked a move yet. I think it is Make It Rain and Sucker. I think that is, you know, there are definitely bad positions for me to be in, but I still have Rotom, which is good. And it's possible I make it out. Maybe I should Terra Steel? Just to survive? So Terra Steel covers Sucker, and it gets extra damage into Ceruledge, right? Not likely to be relevant, but if they Terra, it would be. Especially if they are Split F. Okay, so if I'm faster... Oh wow, they're not even Sash. Oh, they clear Amulet, I knew that. Yeah, I still have Rotom, so I should win. I'm tempted to bring Rotom in. We haven't seen what Chien-Pao is. It is likely Sash. We know that Dragonite is not... it's not Citrus, right? It's not Clear Amulet. It's not... I wonder if it's a... sorry, it's not Citrus Berry, right? The Dragonite went down to 20 odd? Not to 14, and it didn't take a berry, so it's not Pinch Berry even. I think that my best play is to switch in Rotom and Sucker Punch. And then I go for the Shadow Ball and the Overheat. They didn't terror this game. Yeah, no, they did terror the Dragonite. Yeah, okay, cool. I don't know what the roll is on that. Okay. Strongly favored. That tells me they're not like max HP, but wouldn't expect that anyway. GG. Okay, having game 1 is good, because game 1 is the toughest game. I know that they are booster energy on Iron Treads, which is annoying. I think that leads me to wanting to lead Grim and Gholdengo. So like, sorry, I didn't get through this, I think, but Gholdengo, Tauros, and Grim are all like really good leads next to any of the other two. Obviously, there's a lot of relevant information I get out of leading Tauros and Grim. I would have loved, if they weren't booster energy, I would have loved to lead Gholdengo and Tauros, but I can't when they are booster energy. Bulldoze is interesting though, because Bulldoze isn't picking up. Do they reveal Stomping? No, only Protect. I don't know why they revealed Protect. That seems like a weird play. If they went for Sneak, which they definitely should have, because Grim was very, very low, then... So if they went for Sneak, they are slower, which their Dragonite is also slower, so that would not be shocking. Their Dragonite was not very bulky for being slower than, like, Adamant Grimmsnarl, right? It was the Spirit Break I did, right? It's not very bulky for being that slow. So I do think the adaptation is Grim Gholdengo with Tauros and Rotom in the back. Oh, they're Assault Vest. Wow, they're really not bulky for an Assault Vest. Wow, they're really, really not bulky for an Assault Vest. So I think I Spirit Break and... make it right? I don't, do I Terra Steel? I definitely Spirit Break. I think I Terra Steel, make it right. Yeah, I have to Terra Steel not to die to Sucker, so... This should be a really difficult lead for them to deal with, because they revealed that their Terra is weak to Steel, which is weird. I'm not sure why they're Terra Fairy. Just Terra Blast? Weird. Oh, especially because the Dragonite's slower, so all it can do is E-Speed. Maybe they double E-Speed and Sucker? No, but they're not Terra Normal, and they're not item boosted. So it doesn't pick up. They must just have direct special defense investment rather than an HP. What's coming out now? Is it Iron Treads? If it's not Iron Treads, I think I'm in a very strong position. Okay, it is Iron Treads. Even so... What, I bring in Tauros and Sucker the Ceruledge? Or do I bring in Rotom? I want to bring in Tauros, but I think it is probably Rotom. Oh yeah, that's bad, that's bad. It's a good thing I didn't bring Tauros in. Because now they're faster, so I can't sucker them. I might just go for the sucker into Iron Treads then. Do I actually need the double up to KO? I'm not sure. No, I don't. So maybe it makes sense instead to bring in Tauros and go for the overheat. Because they can't switch into it. But does it ever make sense to Thunderbolt Ceruledge instead? It might. They're not a Solfest. They're pretty slow. It does not make sense to. Okay, so I'm going into Tauros, and I'm overheating the Iron Treads. I don't know why Ally Switch failed. Aqua Jet should pick up. But I should probably preserve the Intimidate. Yeah, I have no idea. What? Huh? Oh, Protect spam. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, sorry. It's Alice Switch now operates like Protect. That's a really good change. I forgot they made that change. Not on for it. I mean, I kind of want to overheat it again, but it doesn't make sense. I could double switch, but I don't think that makes sense either. I think I'm just going to Thunderbolt into the Ceruledge spot. Even though I know I'm not doing much damage. Oh gosh, this is annoying. I think I just Spirit Break the Chien-Pao slot. I think I just sweep now. Oh wait, no I don't, because they've got the extra damage, right? Yeah, I think I just Thunderbolt one slot and Spirit Break the other. Why are they going for Psychic Fangs? Okay, yeah, it is quite slow, like I thought. I mean, this should surely pick up from 65. The Ally Switch. Alright, GG's. Okay, obviously if that Ally Switch succeeded, it was a different position, because the Ceruledge had Flash Fire, I assume it was Flash Fire, and it wasn't Bleak Armor, because it never got a Weak Armor proc. They brought a really whack team. They also didn't bring Slowbro, which, to be fair, I also did that thing with Hoppip Zangoose. This team, this game does not feel like it should have been as you know, as consistent as it was. Yeah, like I definitely don't feel like I should have been able to 2-0 this game. It feels like it's crazy to have done that in this series. Also should have remembered to do this during the game. But yes, I am not very smart. I will be doing a post-con. So yeah, I'm pretty interested to see. Yeah, no Garganackle. Team preview was good for me. I had honestly, yeah, completely forgotten about I had completely forgotten that I had completely forgotten that he even learned Ally Switch, and that Ally Switch had been nerfed. I'm going to, yep. Alright. I feel like I don't have a whole lot to say.
pretty simple series, yeah.
I did not expect to win, let alone win this dominantly.
Yeah. You know, sometimes you put together builds with expectation of how the match is going to go, and that just isn't how it goes.
Life Orb Slowbro, it's definitely a good thing. I made decisions that I did. I Terra Steel Gholdengo both those games? I don't think I Terra Steel at once in the mark.
It's real nice against Sucker Punch.
What's sorry?
It's real useful against that Sucker Punch, right? I think that was both games.
Yeah. Though I think a Sneak Sucker double up probably still got me. You were Terra Dark as well. Okay. Yeah, I had to do it for the Sucker Punch. You didn't even have a Focus Sash user. That is insane.
Yeah, I was relying on, you know, I think last week I had a pretty surprising Covert Cloak, and also I had the Terra Ghost fake out against, or, you know, surprise against somebody using fake out, so I was relying on that first. Kind of shuts that down. You
could have used the Terra Ghost though.
Yeah, I could have. I didn't.
Heavy Slam.
I didn't think that you would. Yeah, I wasn't sure if you would avoid it because I did it because last week I went for that Terra Ghost.
Isn't Iron Treads really light?
Is that a mistake? I wasn't sure.
Well, isn't it base 60 against
it was base 80 against Grimmsnarl, I believe, but it was base 60 against like Tauros, so maybe.
Yeah, Ironhead is the same at base base 80, right?
Yes, that is correct. I did not do my research on that.
Yeah, I don't do Heavy Slam unless it's like a Pokemon I know is incredibly heavy and I'm not playing any Pokemon that are heavy, because Iron Treads is shockingly light. I'll just pop it into the thing to keep in context. Iron Treads is only 240 kilograms. Which, like, I know people who can lift that, you know? Yeah, 88. Heavy Slam's not a very forgiving move. But that said, it would only have been like, what, 5% on a Pokemon that, you know, I was preserving with intention.
Yeah, so I think the main, as far as your sets go, that surprised me is that Grimmsnarl set. What made you not want to run Reflect against, you know, a largely physical team?
Because if you had brought a Dragonite set that was like Terra Normal E-Speed, I die before I can get Reflect off.
That's a good point, yes.
Yeah, Sucker Punch protects Psychic Fang's Taunt. Okay, I think that was a bad Chien-Pao set.
I was cooking some heat that probably didn't have to be that much.
I feel like no Ice move is crazy.
You know, I envisioned the Grimmsnarl getting taunted.
I could have brought Doug against this team.
Would you?
Oh, that's crazy. Bulldoze, Heavy Slam, Rock Tomb, and Protect.
And then could just leave it there.
Yeah, there's Iron Treads. I think you, through getting a bit lost in the source, as we previously discussed about getting lost in the source, I think you brought a team that didn't do anything. Which is very funny. The Clear Amulet Ceruledge wasn't even, like, item boosted. Yeah, everything was so slow. I was shocked. Especially, I got a high roll into the Dragonite with that Wave Crash then.
Yeah, I don't think rolls really decided that game. I was
close to leading. I thought you would like no HP. I thought you were no HP because of that Wave Crash damage. Because I calced so that if you were like E-Speed, I could a Terra Steel Make It Rain and Wave Crash KO'd like an offensive Dragonite.
Yep.
If you want multi-scale, which obviously I didn't expect you to beat, but I had to always lead game 1. I always needed to lead the Frisk Grimmsnarl and the Intimidate Tauros to get information on what your sets were.
Yeah. If I load up with Wigglytuff and exactly Tauros Grimmsnarl, I knew that was winning game 1. I wasn't sure if that was enough to make you not lead the Intimidate.
If you led Wigglytuff and what into Tauros Grimmsnarl?
Probably the Slowbro, although, I mean, you have Gholdengo and you have Rotom-Heat in the back.
Yeah, I think I would
it was
just kill the Wigglytuff, right?
Fell apart. That might be true.
I was calculating earlier. Not level 101. Yeah, I mean, any chip puts it in range of a Terra Water Tauros. Terra Dragon Slowbro is something. I guess it's just for Rotom, right?
Yeah.
I guess also Tox, but Tox is... I was surprised when I saw the Slowbro, but no Palisand, because the Palisand was crazy good into my team.
That was something I thought about. I forget what exactly scared it away.
Yeah, I had Zangoose on the team, just for quick gun. And he brought a team which is very priority heavy, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, my speed control didn't work out, my offensive...
I feel like Protect on a Chien-Pao with Covert Cloak was maybe the problem. If you'd run Ice Spinner or Crunch, might have been a little bit better.
Well, the way I envisioned it, I thought for sure it was going to be Screaming Grimmsnarl, so if I can just get that taunt off, it was at least possibly a dead slot. It was not at all, right? I mean, you brought off into Grimmsnarl, which is a big problem.
I didn't mind the taunt. I understand the thought process on the taunt. I just don't understand the thought process on Protect when you're already Covert Cloak, so you're not playing around Fake Out.
Yeah, I don't know, man. There were some mistakes made.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I just like having those protects for the if I think I have 3 moves like that are good enough most of the time.
That Psychic Fangs damage is crazy strong though.
Oh yeah, I mean, damage is crazy strong. I think Ice Spinner ended up mainly being for Grimmsnarl.
Ice Spinner would have been for Grimmsnarl. I mean, it was for anything you couldn't sucker, right? Because you wind up Psychic Fangsing Rotom, which I think is weaker than Ice Spinner. Or it's pretty comparable.
Yeah.
And like what, that did less than Citrus?
Yeah.
35? Okay, no, 35's more than Citrus, but after an Intimidate it wouldn't have been. It's just you were dead when the Intimidate came around. I wanted to calculate whether overheat was killed. But yeah, I figured at that point, like, you'd played yourself into a position in Game 2 where I had so many resources that you didn't really have any response to. Because I feel like your turn 1 play just basically lost you the game. Not that you had, like, a great play, because your Dragonite was so slow. I mean, this is the reason I brought such a fast Grimmsnarl, right? I brought max speed Grimmsnarl with Adamant in the hopes that you'd run a slow Ceruledge or a slow Dragonite, but I didn't really think it would work. And I did have Sucker to tech around your Trick Room options, but obviously, you know, not as great to the Fairy type. Spirit Break's quite funny, because...
Ceruledge has, like, no outs into Sucker Punch, too. That's something especially slow.
Yeah, I mean, Sneak is a very consistent out into Sucker Punch if you weren't slow, but not an out if you are slow. And then after you Terra Ghosted, I could just Spirit Break you anyway.
Yeah, I wasn't planning enough around the fast offensive Grimmsnarl.
Yeah, I mean, when your team was pretty weak to Fairy as well, that was kind of a big sell. Obviously, I did this week 1 as well.
Yeah.
The Frisk offensive Grimmsnarl, and it did pretty well there as well. I feel like Grimmsnarl is a very difficult Pokemon to account for in prep, because I'd say less so than back in Dynamax, because in Dynamax, offensive Grimmsnarl was absolutely a top tier offensive threat, whereas this guy's more like a situational offensive threat. He can easily match up Fish, which is great, because Dark and Fairy are really good matchup Fish types. Game 1, I considered Terra Ghosting on your E-Speed, and I kind of wish I had, instead of protecting on it, but obviously I still wound up making it through with Rotom at full.
I don't think any plays had to be made.
But yeah, look, it was a fun series. We did get to see you switching Chien-Pao around for the purpose of getting Sword of Rule and boosts, which is you know, part of what we were talking about in the video. It just yeah, I brought a team that was very fast and offensive, and it seemed like you didn't have a great responses into a fast and offensive team. Oh yeah, sorry, that was the other thing I was thinking. Even if you did taunt me with Grimmsnarl, wouldn't I have just been running Reflect and then like an attacking moves?
Yeah, there was a lot of this plan that was not that out. My team was weak enough to Spirit Break even from a supportive Grimmsnarl that I would have had problems with that.
Yeah, I mean, your Dragonite was getting to it cured by his Spirit Break even after Terra, which is...
That surprised me in Game 1, but I guess I haven't seen 252 attack Adamant Grimmsnarl enough. That damage was crazy.
No, I was so surprised when I outsped you, though. I will, I think, eternally just be like... Yeah, I think it's... And this is something I've said before, and this is something I probably should have said in the builder, but I filmed it in like the time between being messaged and the video started. It's always worth running speed on your mons. Like, as you can see, I've run speed on Hoppip, you know? I ran speed on Rotom, I ran speed on, obviously, a lot on Grim. I ran it on everything. This Gholdengo's speed ties, literal max Jolly Chien-Pao.
Wow, that is impressive.
Wait, you brought a team that lost to Noivern? I could have brought Noivern. No.
The one team of all time that loses to Noivern.
Of your set of 6? Sorry, your set of 6, let alone your set of 11? Absolutely. the no ice move team.
I think I prepped around Trick Room being up because I have a Trick Room setter, but when it came time to play the games, I was too scared to bring Trick Room.
I did play Trick Room in Mox, and you didn't win, and that was with Knackle and Palisand, which I think are maybe a little bit better than Wigglytuff and Slowbro. But I did have the option to switch into Sleep Powder Hoppip if Trick Room was a real issue.
Yeah.
Which I think I said at Team Preview that I have Sleep Powder Hoppip as like an option there. And yeah, I had Quick Guard and Sleep Powder as like outs too, if a mode wound up being much scarier than I was worried about. I'm surprised. Oh no, it was Assault Vest. Yeah, I was gonna say I'm surprised you didn't have like setup on the Dragonite, but then I remembered it was Assault Vest. But yes, no, speed is good.
Or something in that slot.
I feel like having a lot of attack on Dragonite was maybe not a reasonable decision compared to running.
I think it brought me close to the. I think with Sword of Ruin, I was pretty close to an Oko on Gholdengo. I think it.
With Fire Punch? Okay, I mean that's impressive.
Yeah, but you know, extra bulk would have done something too. Extra speed would have done something. I just say I really hope that we do get to play sometime later, maybe in playoffs, if I can make it there. Because this is an interesting matchup. I'd like to.
I see you're.
Like to revisit it.
I see you're close to an Oko. Is notably not an Oko.
Yes.
Is that an Oko with a high roll and a burn?
Well, if I just crit.
I mean, you could crit that with less attack investment.
No, you were absolutely correct. I think my planning was lacking. I calculated that one mid game, and I was like, what if I just don't calculate and hope that it works.
Ceruledge definitely is like a it is set for Trick Room, right? Because it is 0 speed. But then Dragonite is not min speed. It's just not uninvested. Which I think uninvested maybe made more sense. But yeah, Iron Shreds is really scary. I said to everyone last week, if Flutter Mane is booster energy, I lose. And then this time I was like, if Iron Shreds is booster energy, I lose. But I managed to fend you off. Terra Ghost is... not using the Terra Ghost was interesting. But then being Bulldoze Heavy Slam Rock Tomb is also something.
I think with the Terra Ghost, it would put me in the same situation I was with... The same situation I had with the Ceruledge, where Grimmsnarl can corner me and just Sucker Punch every turn. I wasn't looking forward to having more Sucker Punch weaknesses.
Yeah, I meant just game 1. If you Terra Ghosted turn 1, game 1. Because you took damage as a result of not that. Terra Ghost on Ceruledge as well. What was the thought process there? Just a tiny bit more damage on Sneak without even setup?
I was just looking at the different Terra types. Terra Grass was obviously a consideration for just the water moves from Tauros. I'm not sure what other type would you have gone for, because there's just so much that threatens it offensively. I wanted a Ghost Resist, but Dark, when also their normal wasn't really inspiring. So I decided to see maybe I can pick up Okos, or not Okos, but I can pick up KOs at like 60% or whatever if I have that Terra Ghost.
Yeah, I mean, I think with Sword of Ruin, you definitely get better mileage out of it.
Yeah, there was probably another direction I could have gone with that.
If you were Terra Ghost Sneak with Sword of Ruin, you do 64 to 76 to Gholdengo. Oh no, that's without attack investment. You do 79 to 93 to Gholdengo. It's still not a KO, and that's into Zero Bulk Gholdengo, which I did bring, but if it's not a KO into Zero Bulk, I don't know how much that's worth. Especially when you're investing.
Yeah, just a little bit painful that I had to pick and choose. Even if I decided to go with a defensive Terra type, I would still only be defensively useful into like 1 of 3 of Sucker Punch, Shadow Ball, or
Wave Crash. Yeah.
Yeah, Wave Crash.
I was looking though, you do live with Terra Ghost. You live a Wave Crash if I don't Terra. Which, in my mocks, I did Terra Tauros a lot. But I also wasn't playing
Good mod, man.
I wasn't playing... Sucker Punch Chien-Pao. I did like 2 separate versions of the team, but both of those Chien-Paos were Ice Shard.
Out of curiosity, when you played against Palossand, did you play against any Wugtrio Palosands or just Palossand?
No, I played against Wugtrio in the non-palette. So there was one team which was D-Knight, Iron Treads, Chien-Pao, Slowbro, Knacklestack, Palossand. Then the other one was Chien-Pao, D-Knight, Iron Treads, Knacklestack, Ceruledge, Wugtrio. And it was a choice band Wugtrio that died to a fake out Sucker Punch double up. It took like a 30% from, no, I think 40% even from fake out, which was quite funny. Also didn't know it got gooey as an ability before that.
It crossed my mind to try and do the triple dive into Palossand, and then just physical bulk through Tauros.
Yeah. No, I mean, Palossand was pretty scary. It like forced me to terror my Tauros with the Slowbro Palossand lead, turn 1 every game, because I couldn't take Psychic. And I didn't, you know. I found Palossand really good when I had it. But yes, ultimately, thank you guys all for watching. Apparently my win streak is going to continue on. We'll see if that continues into my game after against... It's the Levitating Dua Lipas. I cannot remember who the coach is. I cannot, for the life of me, remember who the coach of Levitating Dua Lipas is off the top of my head. Let me cheat. Oh wait, I can just check the VBL-S doc. And I think I'm working on getting Grimmsnarl kill leader. Did he get any kills?
The levitating Lipas is Joseph Jokestar.
Joseph Jokestar. Okay, yeah. No, I'm not the levitating. Sorry, I said the wrong one. It's Logic Defying Laddies and it's Death Dragon 225-0. I watched the Levitating Dua Lipas game before this we played ours, and that got me confused. But yeah, Logic Defying Laddies. So let's see if after playing a Chien-Pao with no Ice type move, I play the Iron Bundle Weavile team, and if neither of them also has an Ice type move, I will just start bringing Dugtrio every week. I think that's my commitment. Thank you everyone for watching. It's been really fun playing with Ray, dethroning the champ, as it were. Yeah, you've got a slightly worse record than you did last time. I think you were 2-1 last season, 1-2 this season after week 3. And we'll see if you ride that on into success once again, or if maybe I can steal that championship.
Thank you for having me.